investigation. CBS's Scott MacFarlane says authorities believe they have the murder weapon.
They describe a bolt-action high-powered rifle that they found that was ditched in the woods as the shooter made an escape from the roof and through a neighborhood. A bolt-action rifle is one particularly popular with hunters who want to take one good single accurate shot from a long distance. In this case, they say the shooter was on the roof about 200 yards away, 2 football fields away, and fired one shot, hitting the target.
The investigators say the person is college-aged, blended in with the crowd, and leaped from that rooftop to escape. President Trump again today paid tribute to Kirk, the conservative activist who was a close ally.
The president was at the Pentagon to mark 24 years since the 9/11 attacks, but he also had something else on his mind.
Before we begin, let me express the horror and grief so many Americans at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk was killed while speaking to college students in Utah.
I'm pleased to announce that I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Trump called Kirk, quote, a giant of his generation. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Sandy Waugh Bradshaw.
Marking 9/11 24 years later in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where Flight 93 crashed. Names of victims have been read aloud all morning at New York City's Ground Zero. Now to Britain, where a diplomat has been fired.
The Prime Minister has asked the Foreign Secretary to withdraw him as ambassador to the United States.
Peter Mandelson ousted over his links to Jeffrey Epstein. Here at home, CBS's Kelly O'Grady tells us the government says inflation inched higher in August.
At 2.9%, it's up from 2.7%. So this is not runaway inflation like we experienced back in the summer of 2022, but we are seeing upward pressure from tariffs on certain items.
On the Health Watch, it's called kissing bug disease, from insects that spread a parasite, usually to animals, but human cases have now been found in 8 states.
For most people, this is not something you should be worried about. The people who are at highest risk live in substandard housing, particularly in rural areas, and communities with limited access to pest control or screening.
Dr. Celine Gounder says it can lead to serious health issues later. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Student test scores trending in the right direction. The story coming up at first. KIRO Newsradio traffic. You are clear on the 520 bridge westbound, but still pumping brakes across Montlake. Over on the Kitsap Peninsula, a lane on State Route 3 was blocked for about 15 minutes, but you are still solid to Sunny Slope, and you're backed up on State Route 16 from Port Orchard past Bethel. Travel times Everett to Seattle, 70 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 65. Still pretty hefty there. Traffic brought to you by Wilcox Farms. Fresh food comes from local farms. For healthier eggs with 3 times the omega-3s, choose Wilcox Omega-3 eggs. Locally fresh since 1909.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. About 200 people turned out for a vigil in Seattle's Westlake Park to remember conservative activist Charlie Kirk. This man telling KIRO 7 TV he admired Kirk's effort to engage people who had opposing views.
And he would encourage the people who disagreed with him to step forward and have that dialogue, because all the worst events in America have happened when we stop talking to each other.
Kirk was fatally shot during an appearance at a college in Utah yesterday. The killer is still on the loose. Police have released no official motive. A man is hospitalized in critical condition this morning after a stabbing in Seattle's Denny Triangle yesterday evening. The victim says he was stabbed on a bus. Police say they followed a trail of blood to an apartment building nearby where they arrested a suspect. Seattle police are making more use of the city's soda and soap zones. Those are meant to keep people convicted of drug or prostitution offenses out of certain areas.
City Attorney Ann Davison says since then, though, prosecutors have used the soda zone 115 times, soap 32.
Because it took some time to implement, training, et cetera, for officers. And so now we're seeing it on a more regular basis.
Critics say the zones don't work. And the Seattle Times reports Erica Evans, who is running against Davison, opposes them. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle's mayor wants to spend $80 million to help black families with housing costs and down payments. He's calling it an anti-gentrification and reparations fund. The Seattle Times says it's part of his 2026 budget proposal. Washington State students are posting some of their best test scores in math and English in some time.
The rate of progress for the first time in years, so the growth that we see in our students from year to year to year, is finally pre-pandemic.
State School Superintendent Chris Rhetoric says Washington ranks second in English and fourth in math among 12 states using the same testing service. 71% of students met grade level standards in English and 63% in math. The Seattle Mariners broke out the brooms late last night and swept their 3-game series with the St. Louis Cardinals. It took 13 innings before the M's' Leo Rivas made this happen.
Deep right field down the line. Walk it off, Leo Rivas. A walk-off 2-run home run.
The M's win it 4-2. The Mariners take on LA tonight at T-Mobile Park. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing sunshine today with highs in the low 70s. It's 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday, September 11th. Good to be back with you guys. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. We have a lot of news to get to. As always, we invite you to join us on our KIRO News Radio text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO. Also, invite you to join us if you like to watch our show. Do so on YouTube. And I just ask, this is going to be an extremely emotionally charged show. I know that a lot of emotions are raw today, and just a reminder that we hope that we can keep things respectful as we talk about the news of the day.
Yep. All right, Ursula, let's get to it. Ursula's top stories of the day brought to you by Bathfitter Northwest.
In just the last couple of minutes, the FBI has now released images of a person of interest in the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. He appears to be a college-aged man wearing dark sunglasses and a long-sleeved black shirt with what appears to be a flag on it. They've also recovered the high-powered rifle that they say was used in this attack. Kirk had been speaking at one of his Prove Me Wrong campus events yesterday in front of about 3,000 students and community members, and he was mid-sentence answering a question about mass shootings when the shot rang out.
So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Too many.
Okay. Now, 5 is a lot, right? I'm going to give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
Police believe the gunman was firing from a rooftop about 200 yards away, and along with the rifle, investigators say, again, they have good video of the suspect, even some physical evidence, and just repeating now that the FBI has released a photo they have, or they're asking for help identifying who they're calling a person of interest in connection with this murder. At a press conference yesterday, Governor Spencer Cox called this a political assassination, and he vowed that the killer will be brought to justice.
Our nation is broken. We've had political assassinations recently in Minnesota. We had an attempted assassination on the governor of Pennsylvania. And we had an attempted assassination on a presidential candidate and former president of the United States, and now current president of the United States. Nothing I say can unite us as a country. Nothing I can say right now can fix what is broken. Nothing I can say can bring back Charlie Kirk. Our hearts are broken. We mourn with his wife, his children, his family, his friends. We mourn as a nation. If anyone in the sound of my voice celebrated even a little bit at the news of this shooting, I would beg you to look in the mirror and to see if you can find a better angel in there somewhere. I don't care what his politics are. I care that he was an American.
Your thoughts, Gee?
I got a text message. As you guys know, I was not at work yesterday, and I got a text message about the news on Charlie Kirk being shot in Utah. And the text message came from someone that really doesn't hit me up about news. So when I got the text message, I didn't believe it at first. I sent you guys a text message to ask if it was real or not, and obviously it is real. First, before I get into it, I want to just be clear on something. At this time, they don't have the suspect, and they don't have a motive. I and everyone else, no one knows the reason as to what happened yesterday for a fact. Right now, it's all speculative and it's assumptions. So, first, Charlie Kirk shouldn't lose his life for any reason. I want to be very clear about that. Second, if he did lose his life for any political reasons, then that for sure shouldn't have happened either. His wife should not have to tuck their children in at night with fear and tears in their eyes. And anybody that would cheer for his death, anybody thinking that violence is justice, you're wrong. Dead wrong. I look at this conversation that is or the conversations that we have been having. When we talk about bullets flying around, when we talk about gun violence, when we talk about you could put any type of adjective on violence, it's violence. That bullet didn't just kill Charlie. It killed the chances of his wife having a husband. It killed the chances of those two kids having their father here physically. And nobody deserves this. Charlie didn't deserve it. His wife and kids don't deserve it. That college campus didn't deserve it. The community didn't deserve it. You can write this down if you want to. Violence hardens our hearts and deepens our divides. Gun violence is almost like a thief. I know I get corny with my analogies, but here you go. Gun violence is like a thief. It steals life, it steals hope, it steals all the possibility of any type of understanding. So when I look on social media and see people justifying it, then just want to be clear. The same thing I said about that CEO, the insurance CEO that was gunned down. We are not just losing people. Some of us are losing our soul.
Mm. You're right. I will say that last night I joined our former colleague, Colleen O'Brien, at the Seattle Mariners game. Mm-hmm. And it was hard. I mean, I enjoyed our time together, but I will tell you that I felt like a real heaviness, and we left the game early, and I knew that I wanted to come to work today prepared. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, what is happening? Our country is broken. Our country is absolutely broken. So I wrote down some thoughts that I would like to share, because I will say, as far as Charlie Kirk goes, no matter where you stood on his politics or how strongly you may have disagreed with his words, his murder should not be celebrated. It is disgusting. A young life was taken. A family is grieving. Our country is left even more broken because this kind of violence has claimed another victim. And was he a polarizing figure? For sure. Among other things that I saw being brought up over and over again, he had made statements about gun violence that I found deeply troubling, even suggesting that losing lives was an acceptable cost to protect the Second Amendment. Those views deserve to be debated and challenged. That is democracy. But nothing about his politics justifies murder. Mm. what also makes this moment so horrific is how it happened. He was gunned down in broad daylight on a college campus in front of thousands of students while answering a question about mass shootings. I mean, what does that say about the state of our democracy? If this turns out to be political violence, it is not just an attack on one person or one side. It is an attack on all of us. And sadly, Charlie Kirk's murder was not the only violence that we saw yesterday, but the other things were overshadowed. I mean, in Colorado, another school shooting reminded us that gun violence is not rare in America. It is constant. It is part of our daily fabric. And while we express outrage over this kind of violence, we must also muster that same energy and resolve to end the gun violence that is stealing so many innocent young lives, period. And the responsibility to lower the temperature begins with all of us. I'm looking at it myself in the mirror. This is a time to look in the mirror and ask, what is my role in this solution? This is not the time to call for war or to call for revenge. The responsibility of lowering the temperature must also come from our political leaders. And that starts at the very top. When they pour fuel on the fire instead of calming it, the entire nation feels the heat. As you said, our discourse hardens, our divisions deepen, the violence becomes thinkable. And for the unhinged, it gives them the fuel to act on their very worst instincts. I mean, celebrating a killing, even if it's someone you vehemently opposed, brings us all down. It is inhumane. And I guess I just want to end with the idea that if words can divide, we have to remember that they can also heal. If rhetoric can inflame, it can also cool things down. It is imperative for all of us, those of us with a platform, leaders, citizens, to turn down the heat before more lives are lost senselessly.
Yeah. Ursula, that was good stuff. I'm glad to hear.
I stayed up all night. I literally could not fall asleep.
I'm glad to hear what you had to say about this. And I've gotten messages on Instagram and on Facebook because I did not publicly come out and say anything about it. And people says, gee, what do you got to say about it? What do you got to say about it? Well, you know, I want to be very consistent in what I say about this because I find ourselves continuing to say things like we need to turn down the rhetoric. So I tell you what, how about after today, after the awfulness that we all witnessed yesterday, that we are talking about today, let's do this from here on out. Every time that there is rhetoric, not a shooting, no, anytime there is rhetoric. So from here on forward, I purposely today made it a point to not talk about anything said in the past. Okay? When I talked about Charlie Kirk, my prayers go out to his family and everything. I'm not bringing up the past. I'm not saying what he said, she said, or nothing. But I am going to put a line in the sand from here on out. Every time that there is awful rhetoric, I am going to pounce on it. I am going to call it out. I don't care if it comes from our station right here at KIRO, anybody in this building, anybody on the political spectrum. Because from here on out, I don't want people to say, well, turn down the rhetoric. So every time there is hateful rhetoric, inflammatory, that could lead to violence, I'm going to call that out from here going forward.
As we should. I mean, it is okay to call out the rhetoric. It is not okay to call for violence. And the thing that worries me is things like this. After his murder, Fox host Jesse Waters responded by saying that we are going to avenge Charlie's death. Listen to what he said.
They are at war with us. Whether we want to accept it or not, they are at war with us. What are we going to do about it? How much political violence are we going to tolerate? And that's the question we're just going to have to ask ourselves. Now, Charlie would want us to put as much pressure on these people as possible. Dana nailed it. This is unacceptable and has to stop. And it has to stop now. And everybody's accountable. And we're watching what they're saying on television and who's saying what. The politicians, the media, and all these rats out there. This can never happen again. It ends now. Greg's right again. This is a turning point, and we know which direction we're going.
And just to speak again to the importance of words and how they can get people to react, Charlie Kirk got a lot of credit for Trump's reelection in 2024. The president not only considered him a close ally, but also a family friend. And again, even as we are just now learning a little bit more about a potential person of interest, the president was immediately casting blame.
For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence.
Is that the same? Is Donald Trump the same guy that pardoned everybody on January 6th?
But my point being in sharing that is how does that help? I mean, how does that help? Right now, he is the president who should be absolutely condemning the violence, but not further inflaming the divisions. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to say right now, it is not easy to react. Us as talk show hosts, I mean, I told you, I said, these are my most difficult days because it is hard to react to something as horrific as this without stepping on a landmine. Charlie Kirk was a divisive figure, no question. Someone who often denigrated marginalized groups. At the same time, he was also a devoted family man and a force who energized thousands of young people by giving them a microphone and a chance to debate. My own son reached out to me yesterday, my youngest son, and said, you know, I don't believe in most of the things that he says, but I appreciated that Charlie Kirk gave young people a chance to debate and a chance to get involved. Mm-hmm. And he was landing with a lot of people. But again, it's like both things can be true. And in the immediate aftermath of his murder, an MSNBC host was asking political analyst Matthew Dowd about the environment in which a shooting like this happens. And this is how Dowd answered.
But following up what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
And for that, Gee, he was fired.
Lost his job, huh? Mm-hmm. Well, he messed up by not saying that on Fox. He messed up. You said it on MSNBC and you lost your job. You know what? There's a lot of people that look like me in corporate America that know that there's things that you can't say that others can. So, Ursula, you did your best job, and we did our best job talking about this topic. It is definitely a rough time to talk about it. Coming up next here on the Gee Ursula Show at 9:47, we do have Would You Rather, but up next, Washington. The state of Washington now ranks as the second most expensive state for gas. Gee and Ursula.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald Preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Your time is money, so why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
At Kia of Everett, we make leasing your new Kia simple, easy, and fun. Now through September 30th, lease a 2026 Kia EV9 Lite Long Range for just $249 a month for 24 months with $49.99 due at signing.
Lease payment on approved credit with Kia Finance America plus tax after $13,500 Kia Finance America 24-month lease cash and Kia of Everett discount of $3,322. Quoted payment is before monthly sales tax and fees. Select vehicles only subject to prior sale. See dealer for full details.
The best drive you'll ever take is to Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
The absolute best savings on a hot tub aren't at the fair. They're at Olympic Hot Tub. Get a truly untoppable deal. Purchase a saltwater hot spring spa and get a Lux Smart Top hardcover free. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Have you stopped to think about how you feel today compared to, say, 10 years ago? Are you noticing changes? Less energy, slow recovery, trouble focusing, maybe even weight gain? What if you could turn back the clock and feel stronger, sharper, and more alive? At Longevity Medical Clinic, we help people do exactly that. For over 3 decades, we've been helping thousands of men and women find out what's really going on inside their bodies and take action to feel better and live longer. With advanced diagnostics and personalized hormone and supplement plans, we uncover what's been holding you back and show you how to optimize your health. Our patients often say, "Now I finally understand what's happening and what to do about it." Take the first step today. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com to schedule your free consultation. Longevity Medical Clinic. Feel better. Live longer. Let's do it together.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
He was a hero to me. He was a hero in our movement, and he ended up paying with his life.
The pastor of Seattle's Pursued Northwest Church talking with KIRO 7 TV at a vigil last night to remember conservative celebrity Charlie Kirk, who was fatally shot while speaking at a college in Utah. It's widely assumed Kirk was killed for his political activism, but no one is in custody to confirm a motive. There is progress in the hunt for the shooter. FBI Special Agent Robert Bowles.
This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle.
It was found in a wooded area where the shooter fled. The FBI has released photos of the suspected shooter. We're posting those at mynorthwest.com. Investigators believe he took aim at Kirk from the rooftop of a nearby building. CBS's Scott McFarland reports.
Just minutes into Charlie Kirk's event on campus at Utah Valley University, after he tossed hats to the crowd, he began taking questions from the audience. Someone then fired a gun, and the shot struck Kirk in the neck.
2 hours later, President Trump posted on social media that Kirk had died. Ceremonies today marking 24 years since the 9/11 terror attacks.
Specialist Craig S. Amundsen, United States Army.
Terrorists hijacked commercial airplanes, crashing them into the World Trade Center Twin Towers and the Pentagon. Passengers rushed the cockpit of a fourth plane, which crashed into a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Seattle firefighters are at the Space Needle this morning, paying tribute to the first responders who died that day. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports.
The Never Forget firefighters from Bothell and the 23rd Brigade Engineer Battalion from JBLM will climb the Space Needle stairs twice. That's as a tribute to what the first responders went through while trying to rescue people in the towers.
There are 9/11 remembrances all across the Puget Sound region, and we've got the list for you at mynorthwest.com. Just in, there is a standoff underway in Puyallup right now. Officers tell us a 48-year-old victim was shot once and is hospitalized. A 20-year-old suspect is barricaded inside a home. We have a reporter heading to the scene. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 574 points. NASDAQ ahead 147. KIRO News Radio traffic. You are clear on the 520 bridge westbound, but still pumping brakes across Mont Lake. Over on the Kitsap Peninsula, an earlier problem still has you solid to Sunny Slope on State Route 3, and you're backed up on State Route 16 from Port Orchard past Bethel. Travel time still a bit high for this time of day. Everett to Seattle, 59 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 58. Renton to Bellevue, 39. Traffic brought to you by Washington 811. If you're digging in your yard, you're legally required to call 811 to avoid damaging utility lines. Call or go to digsavewad.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing sunshine with highs in the low 70s. It's 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Blanche.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. It is a Thursday morning. As always, we invite you to join us on our text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. I appreciate for the most part that everyone is keeping it very respectful. So let's get into some of our other top stories today. How much does it hurt when you have to fill up your gas tank? Just the other day, actually it was yesterday, it was almost an empty. It was over $75. And as of this week, our state now ranks as the second most expensive place in the country to buy gas, behind only California. The average gallon here is $4.60. $4.57 for a gallon of unleaded. That's more than 40% higher than the national average. And just this past week, prices have increased by more than 16 cents. We even had some truckers on the text line like, why on earth did gas go up so suddenly? In the San Juan area, drivers are paying more than $5.40 a gallon. King County is at $4.79. But if you're in Asotin County, you're under $4. So there's some good news. And one of the reasons why, because again, it's not just the fact that we pay the highest or among the highest in gas taxes, but analysts are saying that seasonal refinery maintenance and a shutdown in Southern California are keeping the supply tight. And we're hoping that when the cheaper winter gasoline kicks in later this month, maybe we'll see some relief.
When I go to fill up, I just want to speak from personal experience. When I go to fill up, sometimes it is $58. Sometimes it is $62. Sometimes it's $65. Then it's back down to $59. Then it's $66. Ooh, wait, that was a lot of money. So what do I think when I pay those gas prices? I don't think absolutely anything. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't think about, huh?
I do. Yeah.
Do you when you're thinking about that, do you curtail your plans based on the gas? Do you say things like, I'm not going to go to these places based on gas?
No, I just complain.
Oh, okay. So now I'm not trying to say that you can't complain about these things. I think all of us have our levels in areas in which we complain. I do complain about things at the grocery store. I just don't complain about the gas. I do complain about rents for people in here locally. But the gas stuff is one of those things. It is what it is. We have an outrageous gas tax. We can talk about it till we're blue in the face. We have outrageous taxes on everything because we are a regressively taxed state. Bottom line is, if you live in the state of Washington, you can't duck how expensive that it is.
Well, I would say that one of the things that we could do is put pressure on lawmakers or support lawmakers who are not pushing or at least not explaining the Climate Commitment Act and what it is actually doing, because that is responsible for over 50 cents per gallon for gasoline. So that would be one thing that I think that you could do. I don't think that we as a state should be okay with, we're just going to be the second highest in the country.
We're
behind Hawaii.
We're okay with everything else?
No, we're not.
What are we not okay with?
Like a lot of people
pressure, we talk about this all the time, Ursula. You and I have talked about how ridiculous this gas tax has been all the time.
Yes.
To no avail.
Yes.
And it's not going to work.
Yes.
You want to know why? It's not going to work because we are a regressively taxed state. We rely on sales tax and property taxes.
And this is where people who say we should not have a Democratic-controlled House, Senate, and governor's office, that's where they get the argument, because that might be a difference.
So wait.
Yeah, absolutely.
No. Okay, wait. I'll make sure I got this straight.
Yes.
So
sure.
You're saying the reason we're in this situation is because of Democratic policies?
In this particular case, yes.
Because Inslee and the gas tax?
Yes.
Okay. But when it comes to a housing affordability...
I'm not talking about housing. I'm talking about gas prices.
Okay.
We're talking about gas.
That's fine. But when we're talking about help with child care, when we're talking about raising of minimum wages, when we're talking about housing, where's the Republicans at in those cases? Because if we go around...
That's not what I was talking about. We're talking about gas.
Yeah, we're talking about gas. One of the smallest things, gas compared to housing affordability. And so you're talking about like Democrats has messed it up for people in this state. I want to know, what the hell do Republicans do when it comes to people being able to live? That's a cop-out right there, Ursula, on the whole Democrats. That's why
I think it's because you're not willing to acknowledge that in some areas, Democrats are too much about spending instead of looking at ways to curtail. I'm not talking about human decency. I'm talking about the fact that we pay very high taxes.
Where else will the money come from?
Cuts.
You said cuts?
Spending, yes.
So actually lay people off. Because right now we're in a state, we can't even get one politician, Republican or Democrat, to come out and say, we need a state income tax. However, behind closed doors and off the record, they do it till they're blue in the face. So if we're going to sit
that's
here...
wrong, too.
If we're going to sit here and talk about Democratic policies and these and that, let's stay consistent across the board and understand this. Where will the money come from?
Yes.
We literally count or poor people being disproportionately taxed out there.
Yes.
So,
and do you think that really high gas taxes disproportionately affects poor people?
Yes.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about right now.
But it's crazy. But I feel like there's more people upset about gas prices than housing affordability. Look,
I don't think that's right.
Huh?
I don't think that's right. I think we talk about housing affordability all the time.
We talk about the ridiculousness. I'm just trying to say that the comment of this is why it's not the reason we're in this situation isn't because of Democrats being in this situation.
On this particular issue, I blame a lot on Governor Inslee when it comes to gas taxes. Yes.
But you said this is why it's not good to have a Democratic state.
I still don't think it is. I do not think it is good on a state or federal level to have one party control all houses.
Okay, fair. I'll stand corrected. So I'll ask you a question. What will Republicans do to make things better in this state?
Again, they won't immediately go to increasing taxes. And
No, I get that. So what would they do? How would the Republicans go about getting the money?
You don't like my answer.
What is the answer?
One of the things that they often talk about is finding ways to cut other areas of spending. Period. And do you think there's no waste in government?
Oh, no, I do believe there's waste.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the number one way for Republicans to get the money will be to make cuts, right? So people, state and county, would lose jobs, right?
It doesn't necessarily have to be losing jobs. It can be other areas, Gee. I mean, I don't even know why we're talking about gas taxes.
No, we are talking about gas taxes, but you went into another level, so I'm talking about that.
Yeah, you said no one cares about gas taxes or
that's
gas
not what
prices.
I said. No, that's not what I said. What I am talking about is when it comes to this topic, you're saying about the gas prices and Democrats, to which I'm telling you, what would the Republicans do? And the only thing you can come up with is make cuts.
And I said, yeah, look at your spending first. That's what we all do with our budgets at home. We look at where we can cut first before asking for more money.
Okay. But we don't have a state income tax. So it would be impossible. We don't have a state income tax.
The state income tax is not the only area. I mean, again, and I am agreement with you on a state income tax.
Oh, okay. Well, we agree to disagree on this topic. Good stuff. Coming up next, Would You Rather? Gee Ursula.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM. Powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Goodbye, baseball. Home runs in 3 consecutive games. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper.
The Mariners postseason push is on, and there's a whole new way to be part of the action. Introducing the Home Stretch Flex Plan, a $500 membership that gives you the freedom to choose your games and seats for the rest of the season, all while saving 5% on tickets and no fees.
Strike 3 call. Triple digits to end it and complete the sweep.
You can use your credit however you want. Go big with club seats for a couple high-stakes showdowns, or stretch it out until the final series against the Dodgers. And the best part? Home Stretch Flex members get priority access to our postseason pre-sale. That means you're first in line when October comes calling. The team is locked in.
J.P. Crawford! Game winner, walk-off fashion in the 9th inning.
And now it's time to bring the energy down the stretch. Come on board today at mariners.com/homestretch. Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends. And explore the lively nightlife scene. The dining district at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you. Which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 10/9/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of 1 unlimited intro line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. 1 discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contrast. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game on Sunday, September 21st. Head to the KIRO News Radio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO News Radio app, the better your odds will be. So do it every day, September 9th through September 15th. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show coming up at 10 o'clock, 24 years ago today. What is the legacy of 9/11? So we will be discussing that at 10 o'clock. But right now, play a game we always play around Tuesdays and Thursdays called Would You Rather at this time. So here we go. We'll start off here. Would you rather fight a bear with a pool noodle or wrestle an alligator blindfolded?
I can't choose neither.
Oh, that's par for the course. All right. Here we go.
I mean, okay. Well, you. Which one are you picking?
Would I rather fight a bear with a pool noodle or wrestle an alligator blindfolded? I'll go fight a bear with the pool noodle. Being blindfolded, fighting against anyone sounds like disaster. Yeah, so I'll go with the pool noodle. Either way, I'm losing either way, but if I'm going to have a chance, I want to see how I'm going to lose. So I'll go pool noodle.
I go alligator, man. Easy.
Yeah, and maybe
they're only lethal in one direction, really.
Oh.
And they have very strong bite strength, but once you close their jaws, they can't open them up again.
Here's a good one. Would you rather experience every meal as spicy as the world's hottest pepper, or never taste anything ever again? So let me say it again. Every meal that you eat, it is spicy and is extremely hot, or never taste anything ever again.
I would rather have never taste anything again, because essentially if everything is super spicy, you're not going to taste anything ever again, but you're just going to be uncomfortable.
I was going to go with the never taste anything again. However, there are some people that, maybe you or anybody that really love spicy food. And I think the reason why is because you're used to it. Like, some people have been eating spicy foods their whole life. So my one thing of hope would be, maybe if I eat it 3-4 days in a row, on the 5th and 6th day, it won't be as hot.
That's true. Okay, so first of all, what is your choice of spice? When you want, what's your level? How many stars do you do? And what do you usually?
Depending. So if it's up to 5-star, I go 4.
Really?
I go 4. Yeah.
I used to be 3. Now I'm 2. I don't know what has happened. My mom used to always add a little extra spice, or she would know that I love to eat spicy foods. I like them. All my food has to be really hot, like temperature-wise, hot, and then I also liked it spicy. But anymore, if it's more than a 2 and it gets so uncomfortable and your nose is running, your eyes are watering, and it all tastes the same, it just ruins it. I love chili oil, though. I still love chili oil.
Funny you say that. Chili oil, all that kind of stuff. Chili powder. Look, I blame it on my Korean wife. I was a 2-star before her. Now I'm a 4-star at these restaurants. So there you go. Chef, on your spices, you good?
I'm great with spices, but I would rather taste nothing than be in pain constantly. Yeah. By the way, isn't it the worst, when you go out to eat with someone and they're like, I can't eat spicy food?
The worst. The worst. Why are you even here?
Can I just say something really funny? Ron in Tacoma says, that's just too much of a topic change. You threw me off like a bucking bronco horse.
Oh, that was good. All right. Here's a good one. And if you know, you know. Some people might not get this, but some people will. Would you rather always have Cheetos dust on your fingers, or always have sticky maple syrup on your hands?
Oh, I'm going with a sticky maple syrup.
See, I get it. I get it. I'll take the Cheetos dust.
Really? It gets all over your clothing?
That sticky drives me crazy.
Okay, but you know what happens when you lick the Cheeto dust off? It gets sticky. It gets really orange. It gets dark orange.
It's just worse.
It gets dark orange and it gets really sticky.
Yeah.
But first of all, the taste of maple syrup is the best.
But it's the worst.
But gee, people couldn't tell by looking at you if your hands were sticky with maple syrup. But you'd be walking around looking just trashy as all get out all the time with your Cheeto mitts.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that, man.
But can I just say, I don't know if I was the only kid in school, but was I the only one that would get annoyed with kids that come to school smelling like syrup? It used to bother me so bad. I used to, matter of fact, I know his name right now. I don't want to say it every day. Was it smelling like syrup?
Was it a particular kind? Was it Mrs. Butterworth's, or was it a? The one that makes me nauseated is the really cheap one that I know when times were tough in our family.
You talking about Log Cabin?
Yes. or the equivalent, the generic version of log cabin.
Yeah.
You remember? I mean, it has just a very distinctive smell.
It's kind of gloopy.
I just want you to know, Ursula, if you or anybody else, if you can determine by smell what type of syrup, then you are a syrup aficionado. I can't do that. Syrup is syrup. Smell like syrup. Anyway. All right. We got the 10 o'clock hour coming up. We got a lot of stuff happening in the 10 o'clock hour. At 10:30 and 10:30, parents that want to be their college son's idea to call more. So, parents, do you want that to happen? You want your college kids to call more? But up next at 10 o'clock, what is the legacy of 9/11? We talk about that next. Gee Ursula.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
You're invited to the birthday party of a lifetime. Warner Brothers Discovery presents Bugs Bunny at the Symphony, coming to Benaroya Hall, October 10th, 11th, and 12th, in a special new 35th anniversary edition. Enjoy classic Looney Tunes on the big screen as the Seattle Symphony plays the unforgettable music scores live. Ticket info at seattlesymphony.org.
It's G. Scott. School's back and it's rally time. Time to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong and stay focused, but for families on tight budgets, that's not easy. Safeway and the Washington State Department of Health have teamed up and need your help. Every dollar you donate at Safeway checkout helps families in need. And with SNAP Produce Match, they get twice as much for the dollar. Next time you're at Safeway, please donate to keep kids healthy.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, accurate auto body.
Hey there, Dawn Reiling from Olympic Hot Tub. It's fair season, but the absolute best savings on a hot tub aren't at the fair. They're at Olympic. Purchase a saltwater hot spring spa and get a deal that's truly untoppable. A Lux Smart Top hardcover included for free. Wow! Up to $4,500 off the best tub you can own. And it's only at Olympic till September 14th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hey, Brock Heward here. Taking the First Mark Insurance Challenge could save your family a lot of money. It saved us thousands. First Mark works for you. Search in the carriers for lower rates and better coverage. If that sounds smart, go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. The FBI is asking for the public's help as it releases photos of a person of interest in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. CBS's Anna Schechter.
Very distinct photo. You can see a long sleeve black shirt with a logo on the front, dark pants. It looks like jeans. The individual is wearing sunglasses and a baseball cap. So that poses a little bit of a challenge.
And CBS's Andres Gutierrez says there are other things too, namely the discovery of a high-powered rifle in a wooded area that's believed to be the gun used in the Utah campus shooting.
Besides that murder weapon being analyzed, the FBI right now also working to analyze some footwear impressions as well as some forearm impressions they got of the suspect. So they have been working throughout the night in gathering this evidence, and those are some new pieces of information that we've received.
The students at the school where the murder took place are coming to grips with it.
I wanted to go up. I wanted to talk to him. I agree with him on most things he says, and it's usually, I thought, a safe space.
It's sometimes hard to know like what's true and what's not. It's like easier to figure out, what's going on in like politics and stuff, and you can hear Charlie's side or, whoever's trying to like prove him wrong.
At the Pentagon's 9/11 ceremony this morning, President Trump said he will award Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
We miss him greatly, yet I have no doubt that Charlie's voice and the courage he put into the hearts of countless people, especially young people, will live on.
In honoring the 9/11 victims, Trump said the enemy will always fail. In Shanksville, Pennsylvania,
Sandy, Waugh, Bradshaw.
Names of those on Flight 93 were read aloud. Similar story at New York City's Ground Zero for World Trade Center victims. The wife of former New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez sentenced today to 4.5 years in prison for selling her husband's influence for cash and gold. The government says inflation inched higher last month, up 2.9% from last year. CBS's Jill Schlesinger says inflation could prove scary for Halloween.
The price of candy and gum in this report up by 8.1% from a year ago, and many chocolate makers say prices will be heading higher, mostly due to tariffs.
Construction work at the Hyundai battery plant in Georgia that was raided by immigration last week is now being delayed by worker shortages. 300 Koreans detained are now on their way back to South Korea today. Wall Street, right now the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 573. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
WSU Cougars will be able to tip one back at home games. I'll explain in a moment, but first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. In Bellevue, a crash is blocking a lane on I-405 northbound near I-90. Not a huge impact, but over on the Kitsap Peninsula, you are still slow on State Route 3 due to an earlier problem in Gorst. This also has you jammed up northbound on State Route 16 back to Lowe's near Bethel. Travel time still running long. Everett to Seattle, 45 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 51. Renton to Bellevue, 37. Traffic brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Having your vehicle serviced is a stress-free promise at Subaru of Puyallup with hours from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Subaru of Puyallup.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. About 200 people turned out for a vigil at Seattle's Westlake Park to remember conservative activists fatally shot in Utah yesterday. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao reports.
More than 200 people joined Seattle pastor Russell Johnson to honor conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
He was a hero to me. He was a hero in our movement.
GOP chairman Representative Jim Walsh praised Kirk's work.
Charlie Kirk stood for living
the reality of freedom of speech.
For many people, Kirk was a voice for young conservatives through his organization, Turning Point USA.
Pierce County deputies tell us a 48-year-old person has been shot and SWAT officers are in a standoff right now with the suspect. The 20-year-old is barricaded inside a home in Puyallup. We have a reporter heading to the scene. Gig Harbor police say they arrested a person suspected of stealing mail for weeks. Officers recovered a stolen U.S. Postal Service key as well as stolen mail, a gun, and drugs. They're investigating whether the suspect is tied to other crimes in the region. Washington State's Attorney General is weighing in after the Department of Justice asked the state to hand over personal voter information.
AG Nick Brown says the request is not about election integrity, it's about control.
If you can control elections, then you can control the future of his policy priorities, and we can't let that happen.
Brown says if the request is legal, the state will comply. If not, everything will be done to protect Washingtonians. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Washington State Cougar fans will now be able to buy beer and wine at the stadium during home football games, just not in the student section. The State Liquor and Cannabis Board approved a pilot program. Board Chair Jim Vollendorf.
When done responsibly, alcohol service can be managed in a way that enhances the fan experience without compromising health and safety.
Husky Stadium has offered alcohol since 2021. The Mariners with a 4-2 win against the St. Louis Cardinals last night, including this.
A double for Jorge Polanco.
The M's swept the Cardinals, and they look to keep the good vibes going as they start a 4-game series tonight against the LA Angels in Seattle. The Mariners are 1 game back of Houston for first place in the AL West. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing sunshine today with highs in the low 70s. It's 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Claire Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday, September 11th. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. It has been a very heavy show so far. Coming up at 10:30, we are going to have a conversation about what it is. Okay, so the parents want it to be college son's idea to call more often.
Ain't gonna happen.
Okay, and for those of you who have older kids who've moved out.
You already know. Tell them, Ursula.
Yeah.
Tell them.
You know that forget them kids, as G likes to say. But I am going to tell you as the mother of 2 young men who have moved out.
Yeah, but your kids love you.
I know, but
your kids love
But what I want to say is they will come back. I mean, I think if you're doing everything right, they will come back. And even if you're not doing everything right, there is a chance for forgiveness and they'll still come back.
Especially if they get broke.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll have that conversation. You know what I'm finding out today? When I don't have a lot of sleep and then I try to read something and it's in really small type, I can't see.
Can't see?
It's a problem. It is a problem.
Now, Ursula,
yes.
I know right now you're getting ready to talk about 9/11.
Yes.
And this is probably something I shouldn't do on the show, but there's kind of been a little bit of, if you can talk about the pictures that they see. I want to talk about that and who they're looking for and all that with the Charlie Kirk thing.
Yeah, well, and we mentioned it at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
So just a reminder, text line 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
What's new at 10?
And yeah, maybe we start there because this is the story that everybody is talking about, the horrific murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk yesterday in that Utah school. There is a manhunt underway, but the FBI is seeking a person of interest in his murder. They have released a picture of a young man wearing a black long-sleeved shirt. It has a big emblem of a flag on the front of it. He has short-cut hair. He's wearing a baseball cap. He's got dark sunglasses on, and they're calling him a person of interest. They're also saying that they've recovered the rifle that they believe was used in the shooting. They recovered it in a wooded area nearby the college. They have been able to, so they've captured some images that they actually just released in this last hour. And I think most of you already know by the time you're listening to us right now that Charlie Kirk was doing one of his college campus tours and was answering questions. And this was in front of thousands of young people in the middle of this college campus in Utah. I believe it's Orem, Utah. And he was gunned down in the midst of answering a question about shootings. Specifically, he was asked about mass shootings. And as he was answering that, one bullet struck him. It appeared to be the left side of his neck, or he was hit by one bullet, which killed him. And so there has been obviously a lot of reaction, a lot of speculation. If you missed our conversation in the top of the hour, we shared our thoughts on it. And it is important to keep this story in the forefront because it is so symbolic of so much of what is going wrong in this country. And so the FBI is asking for help in identifying this person. I hope whoever did it is caught. Both you and I have both said that political violence, this kind of gun violence, political violence is wrong. Celebrating it is wrong. That is not okay. And so that's where we are right now.
Can I ask you something? Yesterday, I had gotten text messages and I looked all over social media and I see this older white gentleman that is down on the ground. And then I see reports I see a post from Kash Patel, who is head of the FBI. I heard the governor from Utah in a press conference say, yes, we do have the suspect in there. Hold on, let me ask. I want to ask you and everyone else, when that happened yesterday, yes, we do have the suspect. And then you see a little bit later, oh, the suspect has been released. And then you hear all of the harassment that the older white gentleman has been getting, who apparently had nothing to do with it. How does that make you feel when you see something like that, when you see the head of the FBI almost go to a rash decision? This isn't some random person on X or on social media. This is the head of the FBI coming out. They're posting a picture of this guy. This guy's life could be ruined from that. What goes through your mind?
I didn't see the picture of the suspect, but I saw as there was this news conference happening. I was watching Fox yesterday after I got home, and I was watching their coverage, and then I saw the governor and then the chyron saying on the bottom that FBI, so Kash Patel says that he used the word subject, was arrested. And my immediate feeling was relief. Thank God whoever did this horrific thing is not still walking around potentially harming others. But then when they had to take it back, it was like it's a reminder of how you cannot rush to judgment. You would rather hold off on it and be right than to rush and be wrong.
Now that goes for civilians.
That goes for
you would think the head of the FBI would know that way better than you, Ursula.
Yes. And while I'm just gonna say that I hope that Kash Patel has learned a lesson. I don't think he's the most qualified person for that particular position, and this may be one of his more visible mistakes in that position. But I also understand that there's a lot of concern, interest, pressure, and desire that doesn't excuse being wrong. And now this person, because now they're having to say, could you stop harassing this person? He was not any.
Should that person be able to he should do a lawsuit, right?
You know what? Again, it's like, I'm sure that that's going to happen. I would not be surprised if that's going to happen. But I don't want that to be the focus of.
Wait. I didn't make this the focus. We have talked about Charlie Kirk. We've talked about all different. So we're just talking about another angle. This isn't the focus. I'm not making it the focus.
Yeah.
I'm making it an angle, a very serious angle.
Yes, it is.
And how there is a video of a civilian who had nothing to do with it. And you have the governor and you have the head of the FBI saying, hey, everybody, we have a suspect.
Yes, and this is an example of what can go terribly wrong if you rush to judgment and you rush to make a statement like that can be extremely dangerous and could put that person at risk, and now you have to backtrack. And what it does is just it makes people lose faith.
Exactly.
Okay, do you want to talk about 9/11?
Yeah, sure.
Because it was 24 years ago today that the world changed forever. And if you were, where were you on 9/11? Do you remember?
On the couch.
Living where?
I was in Maple Valley, living in Maple Valley. I was on the couch. Baby G was in the swing. And I got a phone call saying, turn on the news.
Mm-hmm. So I was on my way here to work, and I just remember the shock, the profound sadness that I felt. And then you have to almost compartmentalize when you work in this business, because it's like, okay, we have to do the reporting, but what is it that we're watching? And you just knew that our country had changed forever in that moment. And so I guess I would love to hear from all of you listening right now. What is the legacy of 9/11?
Oh, I got one for you. Yeah. While it was a tragic event, I think it was the peak. 9/12, September 12th, the day after 9/11. I think it was the peak of America coming together. And I think from that point on, from after that day, you started to hear people villainize Muslims, right? Muslims were being targeted during that time. And then you had the whole Iraq and the wars and all that. From that point on, America has gone downhill in the divide. And what I'm saying is the legacy of that time is I know when I think about how people were honking the horns at each other, waving at each other, showing love to one another. During that time, obviously, we didn't have social media, but actually out in the grocery stores, we actually had togetherness. My point is America will never come together again like it did 9/12. It will never come together. We had a pandemic which became political. Everything we see and talk about today is political. So when I think about 9/11, the tragedy that happens, I can think back and I'll tell grandkids and great-grandkids in the future, that's when America was at its peak. It was the best it had ever been.
And why do you think we were at that peak? What was it that brought us together?
Well, I think is because we actually thought for a minute that we were really being attacked. I think we saw images. We saw images of the building. We saw images of the Pentagon, and we thought America was under attack. So when you say we were, like we thought like we were actually being, like it was more serious even than that. So I think how scared we were together all at one point, that's why we came together.
I would say that, yeah, we were under attack on our soil. 3,000 lives, nearly 3,000 lives lost. The number of the thousands of lives impacted forever from those acts of terror. And we all bonded together wanting to fight a common enemy.
Yeah. And then after that, it became political. After that.
I guess I want to know from everyone listening right now too, because you know I am the eternal optimist, and on a day like today, it's hard to be optimistic. It really is. But I cannot wrap my head around the idea that we can never come together as a country again.
We can't. We
I
can't.
know, and how does that make you feel that we cannot rally together? I mean, if we were truly under attack again, and I know what is said about the enemies coming from within and all that, but like, what would it take for us to come together as a country? It's never going to be perfect, but what would it take?
You just asked me a second ago. You asked me, how does that make me feel? It makes me feel that I am reminded that there are people in this country that life has never been good in this country for. Literally, there are people that have had to fight for everything. Every freedom that some walk around with, it was never handed to them. People had to lose their lives. So when you ask me, how do I feel? I'm just reminded. Yeah. I'm just only saying that on 9/12, on that day, we were together. And right after that day happened, that day was used, weaponized to go to war. All kinds of things happened. As if we want to rack them and stack them, where we are today, I'd almost argue that it started there. When you started to weaponize what is going on, reasons to go to war. There was a split here.
Okay, I'm just gonna look to those who also maybe look at the world with rose-colored glasses. And Brian in Bellevue is one of those that I know. And he says, when we are at our lowest point, we are open to the greatest change. And that includes embracing the person that you just argued with.
I guess I have to comment on this and say that there have been a lot of nations in the modern developed world who have gone through times of great internal struggle, of authoritarian governments, of abusive governments, of extreme hatred for certain groups. And virtually every single one of them has come out of those periods of struggle as a stronger country. And I don't think those feelings ever go away, but I think reconciliation is possible. But you have to center shared values in your public conversation. And we don't do that right now. We try to do that on this show. We need to be able to empathize with one another and be able to listen to other people when they talk. And are they criticizing or are they dehumanizing? Mm-hmm. Are they sharing an opinion or are they trying to cut someone down? Mm-hmm. Listen to the language that people use and try to think about how you talk too, because we try to be very conscious on this show that we can disagree with each other and still understand one another's basic humanity and dignity, and understand that everyone deserves that. And every conversation should be trying to lead more to understanding more about the other person's perspective than it should be about winning the conversation or cutting them down.
Listen to understand instead of to interject with a counter argument. Or how about not automatically thinking the worst of someone's intentions, but also letting them know this is how your words and your voice are impacting me. I feel like the answer lies within ourselves. And yes, that is a Pollyanna outlook. But again, how grim if we think that we can never get back to a place where at least the vast majority of us can find agreement. I mean, are we not in agreement that we want this world and this country to be a better place for the next generation? I mean, that's something that we can agree on.
Sure. I think that we want to agree on those things. I'm coming from a place of reality. And, just now I got called angry, opinionated and angry, which is a narrative that I understand. But I apologize if when I come and I talk and I give you guys my life from a certain point of view, a certain point of view that has not been popular in the media. The words have not been accepted in the media, just in general. But when you say and ask, Ursula, about us all coming together, we can't even agree on people's sexuality. We can't even agree on someone's religion. We can't even agree on someone's gender. Everything that we talk about today is either you and I coming out and defending those that are demonized on a constant basis. We are worse today than ever.
And how do we change that? I mean, literally, how do we change that? I don't expect an answer right now because it's a much more, it's a much deeper.
You can't change it.
And I'm just not going to accept that.
Can you model it in your own life, though?
Yes.
That's what we do. And I know you work every day for it.
Coming up next here on the Gee Ursula Show. Hey, parents, you want your kids, your college kids to call you more? I think we'll try to help you figure it out. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Touchdown Seahawks!
Number 96, Cortez Kennedy. He was as wide as he was tall, and he was in the backfield, terrorizing quarterbacks and throwing them to the ground before they knew what hit them.
The Seahawks hit the road for the first time this season in hostile Pittsburgh. Seahawks, Steelers, Sunday. Kickoff at 10 a.m.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
And now, tales of another way. How long can one go on with the same scent of shower soap? Sure, sandalwood is your signature aura, but today you went tropical essence. Glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes another way is the better way, like the new SR 509 Expressway, the alternate route that'll help manage congestion on I-5 and other local roads. Tolling begins September 29th. Save $2 per toll with a Good-to-Go pass. Learn more at goodtogo509.com.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So, how many chickens do you think there are on the farm?
3,000?
What do you think chickens eat?
Grass.
What else?
Seed.
So do you know what organic eggs are?
The ones that you put in brownies?
Yes, the ones you put in brownies.
We hope you choose fresh eggs from our family farm.
Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh
since 1909.
Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Leaders on both sides of the political aisle are condemning the fatal shooting of conservative celebrity Charlie Kirk. Democratic Governor Bob Ferguson posting on social media that violence is never the answer. Republican State Representative Michael Baumgartner telling Seattle Reds' Jason Rantz.
When you inflame things, then some folks feel that as a justification for violence. And so everybody needs to do better on that front.
Though some are assuming Kirk was killed for his political activism, no one is in custody to reveal a motive. Investigators believe the killer took aim at Kirk as he was speaking at a college in Utah yesterday. CBS's Carter Evans.
Law enforcement sources tell CBS News they believe the shot was fired from the nearby Losi Center rooftop, and they're searching for an individual in dark clothing. Video appears to show a figure on that rooftop across from where Kirk was shot, running away right afterward.
The FBI has released a photo of someone they are calling a person of interest. We're posting that for you at mynorthwest.com. Solemn ceremonies are underway across the U.S. to remember the victims of the 9/11 terror attacks.
Hundreds are gathered at the World Trade Center site in New York City to remember the nearly 3,000 people who died there 24 years ago. The names of the victims are being read aloud.
Richard Anthony Aceto.
Bernard Ackerman.
Paul Aquaviva.
There have been 2 moments of silence marking the precise times 2 planes were flown into the Twin Towers. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
There are also ceremonies at the Pentagon and in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where the other 2 of those 4 hijacked planes crashed. New figures show inflation continued to rise last month, the latest from CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
Annual inflation rate for consumer prices ticked up to 2.9%. And of course, the Fed's target, it is 2%. And that 2.9%, it's up from 2.7. So this is not runaway inflation like we experienced back in the summer of 2022, but we are seeing upward pressure from tariffs.
Washington State now has the second highest gas prices in the nation. AAA says the average price is $4.62 a gallon, up 5 cents since yesterday. It's higher in Seattle. Seasonal refinery maintenance and a shutdown in Southern California are getting the blame. Washington State's gas tax and carbon fee also factor in. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 584 points. NASDAQ ahead 153. KIRO Newsradio traffic. In Bellevue, a crash is blocking a lane on I-405 northbound near I-90. Over on the Kitsap Peninsula, much improved after an earlier problem. State Route 3 and State Route 16 are only jammed up right now, right around Gorst. Travel times are dropping overall. Traffic brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. The Autumn Savings Event is on. Save $500 per window, $1,000 per door. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing sunshine today with highs in the low 70s. It's 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Sure appreciate you hanging out with us. So this is a situation that I can totally relate to because I remember when the kids moved away from home. I mean, I was almost in a full-on depression. It just, if I could, I would love to have my family live on a compound. So I really felt it when they moved. And now with kids back in school, for some of the house, for some of us, your house might feel a little emptier. And the little ones are off to elementary school. The older ones have packed up for college. Suddenly you're at home staring at your phone, waiting for it to buzz, and it just doesn't. And you're wondering, like, okay, what's the deal? Have my kids started ghosting me? Do they not care? Do they not love me anymore? So we were reading a piece in the Washington Post from a mom who says her college-age son is a great kid when he's home. He's kind. He's fun to be around. He's happy. But when he's away at school, he just disappears. She gets a text now and then if something big happens, but otherwise it is just silence unless she reaches out. And what she really wants is for him to call on his own once in a while so that she doesn't feel like she's nagging about it. But basically him showing that he chooses to reach out to her. And I guess I would love to hear how you dealt with this, what your thing is. And because even though our kids are adults now, you still love to hear from them.
Sure. Yeah, I took a page out of my dad's book. And you start to, you heard about it. Like, I can't believe they're not calling me. And why would they not call? And why would they not return the text back on time? And why would they not, all that stuff, communicate? I mean, they should be doing this and they need to do that. And you know what they need to do? They need to be them. And so what I do now, right now from this day forward, I'm returning the favor now. Dad don't pick up the phone and won't pick up the phone. What? I'm not calling.
No. Are you happier for it? Is your life better for it?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. The thing is everybody's on this whole style. It should be this way. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not that way.
Yeah.
And sometimes, look, check this out. The next time you text your child and they don't hit you back for 48 hours, let them text you and you don't hit them back for 48 hours.
Okay.
This is the stage.
I'm going to give my, okay, what were you going to say?
I'm just saying, I'm at the stage of life, I'm giving everybody the same energy in return. Because sometimes
even your kids.
Everybody.
Okay.
Kids and all. Take the same energy and keep that same energy if you need something.
Now, would you think that you could maybe get the behavior you want by modeling good behavior?
When you say modeling good behavior,
like,
what is that?
As in, hey, showing them and actually expressing to them, I would love it if you actually called. I would love it if you called me or texted me when you don't need money, but you also just want to see how I'm doing.
Yeah, well, you know what? Again, I go back to what my dad did. I was that way with him when I was younger. I would go long stretches of time.
Yeah. Do you regret that?
Absolutely. I think a lot of 20-something-year-olds regret how they were. A lot of 20-something-year-olds, the ones, I mean, some of you are 30 and 40. There's a lot of times you just think you know everything. You know everything in life. As a matter of fact, you know so much that you haven't succeeded. That's how much you know. The moment you get to the point where he's like, oh, you know what? Maybe I don't know that much. Maybe when you stop, that then is when you take off. So,
do you also feel like you learn from your kids or your adult kids?
Oh yeah, we've talked about this.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, the young generation will teach you something if you're talking to them.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I mean, so I guess the question is, how do I handle when kids pull away? And I just found out that my youngest son was listening to our segment. I mean, he's been really impacted by the murder of Charlie Kirk. He actually was the first family member to reach out to me because he had just started listening and watching some of the videos of him and just how he, and again, I said that there were a lot of things that he disagreed with, but he liked that he was giving young people a voice. Mm-hmm. And so he reached out to me, and it was really comforting that both sons, even though they're in their 20s, one's almost 30, that we have this group text that we check in with each other, that we have each other's back, that we still enjoy each other's company. And I know not everybody has that. And it wasn't always the case. My youngest, for a while, I mean, I say he was the first one to reach out. My youngest, for a while, he would go stretches of time, especially in high school. I was hoping he would get out of high school in one piece. But something dramatically changed when he was in college. And one thing was a tragedy that I think changed and really brought home the importance of family to him, sadly. And it breaks my heart that his best friend Hugh passed away at such a young age. And I will say that in Hugh's memory, my son, the gift that Hugh left for us as a family was that my son became much more open to being around family. But I don't think nagging helps. I don't think guilt trips help. But I think having that open communication where it's not you just drilling your kids all the time makes them want to come back, if that makes sense.
So, wait, did you just say at the end, you said drilling them?
You know, like when he was like always feeling like, oh, okay, have you done this? Have you done that? Oh, my God, why aren't you doing, but, having those conversations, that's a turnoff. No one wants to be around that. No one wants to feel less than by the people who are the closest to them. Yeah. So if your kids aren't reaching out to you, your adult kids aren't, maybe you need to look in the mirror and say, what am I doing to create an environment where they don't want to come back?
Sure. Yeah. No, that's a very good point, right? You do have to look at yourself. And then you know what else you got to do?
What's that?
You know what they said in Shawshank Redemption?
Forget them kids?
Nope, they didn't say that.
Oh, sorry.
One of my favorite quotes in Shawshank Redemption. Get busy living or get busy dying. Hey, I'm living, baby. Coming up next, we got a little scenarios. We're going to do that next. Gee Ursula.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
You're in your car every day, but when's the last time your car had a checkup? At Subaru of Puyallup, we make it easy with stress-free service. Open 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. Swing by before work, after work, or whenever it fits your schedule. No hassle, no pressure, just expert care on your schedule. Your car deserves it, and so do you. Schedule your appointment today at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well,
I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
IRG Physical and Hand Therapy doesn't just treat injuries, they elevate athletes. From weekend warriors to elite competitors, IRG Sports Institute clinics are built for performance, blending top-tier physical therapy with advanced sports science and personalized training plans. Hey, Brock Hewitt here with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and owner of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Why? Why elevate athletes as well?
Because here at IRG, Brock, our motto is we want you to be your best self, your best physical self, your best mental self, and your best community self. At our new IRG Fremont Sports Institute, we're providing that type of care. We've got the latest equipment, the greatest techniques, the providers there that are excited to get you better, basically bigger, faster, stronger. Doesn't matter if you're a weekend warrior, a recreational athlete, an elite athlete, we will make you to be your best.
You'll work with specialists who understand the grind because they've been there. With access to cutting-edge equipment and recovery techniques, you won't just heal, you'll come back stronger. Visit irgpt.com, irgpt.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Hey there, Dawn Reiling from Olympic Hot Tub. It's fair season, but the absolute best savings on a hot tub aren't at the fair. They're at Olympic. Purchase a saltwater hot spring spa and get a deal that's truly untoppable. A Lux Smart Top hardcover included for free. Wow! Up to $4,500 off the best tub you can own. And it's only at Olympic till September 14th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub. Is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling September 29th. Free Good-to-Go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
Cap off your summer with an incredible night at the ballpark. The final Mariners fireworks night of the season is coming up this Friday, presented by T-Mobile. Cal Raleigh and the crew are taking on the Angels in a divisional showdown at 7:10. And after the final out, we'll be lighting up the sky with a dazzling post-game display. Fireworks and Mariners baseball. That's two spectacular shows in one unforgettable night.
Holy smokes, what a firecracker! Way back into the upper deck. What a year for the Big Dumper.
Go to Mariners.com to lock in your seats and check out everything on deck, including Fan Appreciation Night, presented by Starbucks Saturday at 6:40, and a Super Mario Mariners cap giveaway thanks to Nintendo Sunday at 1:10. Plus, don't miss the final homestand of the regular season, featuring a matchup against Shohei Ohtani and the defending World Series champion Dodgers, September 26th through 28th. Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
All right, let's get right into this scenario.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
My sister is 9 years older than me. We typically Venmo each other money for our birthdays. It's kind of ridiculous, but because we just send money back and forth, but that's just what we do. When she turned 40, I threw her a big surprise party. I rented a venue, had it catered, flew in for the party, blew up large baby pictures of her, invited all her friends and family, and bought her a $500 purse. So, I turned 40 a couple weeks ago. I did not expect a big party, but I did expect something more than what we usually do. She sent money as usual. There was no card, nothing personalized. There was no thought. I'm trying to get over it, but it bothers me. I don't want to make her feel bad. I don't want to make her feel bad about this, but I posted pictures of all of the personalized gifts that I got and thanked my friends for making my special birthday so memorable. I know she saw it, but haven't heard anything from her. What should I do? I am trying to get past this, but it still bothers me. 888-973-5476. Ursula, you up the bat first.
Okay, can you remind me what's the relationship between the two?
They're sisters.
Okay, they're sisters, and she went all out.
Went out for, yep.
And then it wasn't reciprocated.
Right.
Okay, so first of all, when you go all out for somebody, the idea is that you want to do that because it is something that you want to do, not because you think you're going to get something in return. That goes with big gift giving, whatever it is. You do it because that's what's in your heart. That's my rule. That's what's in your heart, not because you expect someone to respond in kind. But if it truly bothers you, that's your sister, and you feel like she wasn't very thoughtful or doesn't... I think what's going on is she's basically saying, I don't feel like she cares about me in the same way that I care about her. If it's purely based on what's in this message, then she equates her love language is doing things, acts of service and gifts and material stuff. But maybe her sister's doing something else and showing her love in other ways. Maybe her sister... So I think the best way is to be honest about it and say, I just want you to know, I feel a little bit hurt that I feel like I went all out and I don't feel like it was reciprocated. Is there anything going on? That's my advice.
Yeah. There's so many people who give what they need but never ask, and vice versa. You need to get on the same page with your partner, or in this case, your sister. Ask for what you want. If you want a big party, tell her you want a big party. You gave her the party because that's what you wanted. It's not necessarily even what she wanted. Like earlier in our relationship, Gabby threw me a surprise birthday party, and I was horrified. I was so mad because I came home from work and there's all the people in the house, and I'm like, oh, not my style. But that's what she wanted. She wants to have a big birthday party. She'd love to have a surprise party. Still haven't done it. Sorry, Gabby. But yeah, it's okay to ask for what you want.
What are you thinking? It looks like you're deep in thought.
Well, sometimes you swing and a miss on people's birthdays. or birthdays or Christmases. If you've been in a relationship, obviously you and your sister, you guys have been in a relationship with your sister for a long time. And obviously on the 40th birthday for you, there was a swing and a miss. It didn't go down like you thought it would be. Speaking of, I'll throw myself under the bus. I always think about the swing and the miss that I had with Lillian on a Christmas. And here's the thing.
One particular Christmas?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
On one hand, it was a swing and a miss. On the other hand, I just thought about something. She still uses that thing. I got this jewelry thing, this big old jewelry thing, Ursula, with the mirror that you can see yourself and you can open it up and you can decorate, put all your jewelry all in there. And it fell flat for Christmas. It fell flat. Don't get me wrong.
She was like, don't give me the box, give me the jewelry.
Yeah. I could just tell. It just didn't go right. However, here we are. 7-8 years later, she's still using that thing. So on one minute, it might seem like a swing and a miss. On another, I think that was a nice double. That was a nice double, deep center field and all that kind of stuff.
But you still changed it so that you remember that one time and you never did it again.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But again, you have swing and a misses. So my advice to you, sister, is
communicate.
just give some grace.
Yeah.
She didn't know. She thought she
Don't
in her
think the
idea.
worst.
It reminds me. Here comes a sweeping statement. It reminds me of women, how they expect for men to read their minds all the time. Your sister was just on the level of just doing the same thing every year. Here's your birthday. She don't mean no harm.
It's not her love language. It's your love language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, she can't read your mind. So,
My sweeping statement.
What's that?
Women don't want things that are useful as gifts. You know, like
Not. I would say sometimes it's
aspirational.
true.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's true. Sometimes it's not.
hey, but again.
And how do you describe useful?
Ursula, have you ever swung and missed on a present for Long Live Mark?
Oh, sure.
You know what I'm saying? You miss sometimes.
Yes.
And sometimes you like, ooh, I hit a home run this time.
Yeah, he's gotten it. He's gotten really good though about asking.
Yeah, because you just come out and tell him.
Yes.
Nick, what do you got?
You know, if she's going to give you the cold shoulder or less of a thought with your birthday gift for your 40th, then maybe this tradition might be coming to a close, because by the sounds of it, this was a two-way street, and the only reason he was going all out with his sister was because of the ongoing good gesture. Granted, it wasn't money this time around, but you come back with an empty card after that. Listen, I don't blame you for having the hands in your pockets next time if this is the reaction from her.
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
At the end of the day, it's petty to give that kind of gift for him instead of just talking about how maybe she would have rather had just the money instead of the party. Sure, it was a swing and a miss, but you don't have to act this way about it.
Hey, let's just do something new. Can we just start, in the words of Ursula, just start communicating and telling your significant other, hey, my birthday's coming up. This is what I want. Boom, done. Hey, Christmas is coming up. This year, I want this. Boom. Taken care of. Like, let's quit this. Let's quit this. You need to read my mind. Stop it. We can't.
Sometimes, though, after years and years and years, your partner does want you to be thoughtful and know what would make him or her happy. And there's nothing wrong with that either.
Oh, one more swing and a miss that I did that, by the way, comes through. I gave Lillian some shoes for Christmas one year, and I guess in their culture, it's not good to give shoes for Christmas because you can run out the door. I saw her a few weeks ago wear those shoes. Again, I didn't swing and miss like I thought. Coming up next, the 11 o'clock hour, we'll tell you what's new to talk about, and Agree to Disagree comes up at 11:30. Gee Ursula.
Kia of Everett. We make leasing your new Kia simple, easy, and fun. Now through September 30th. Lease a 2025 Kia EV6 Lite for just $99 a month for 24 months with $49.99 due at signing.
Lease payment on approved credit with Kia Finance America plus tax after $8,300 Kia Finance America 24-month lease cash and Kia of Everett discount of $2,734. Quoted payment is before monthly sales tax and fees. Select vehicles only, subject to prior sale. See dealer for full details.
The best drive you'll ever take is to Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different.
Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The FBI is now offering $100,000 for information leading to the identification and arrest of Charlie Kirk's killer. Authorities have also released a photo of a person of interest. He's young, dressed in dark clothing with dark sunglasses. CBS's Anna Schechter.
This photo tells us a lot. It tells us that they don't have the suspect's exact ID pinned down. Otherwise, they likely would have put a name out there when they're asking the public to help find the individual, but they certainly have plenty of video elements, images of this person.
CBS's Scott MacFarlane reports authorities do have a lot of evidence, including the weapon.
Well, they said the shooter blended in well, or was able to blend in on a college campus, either through his attire, through his demography, whatever age he is, and the ability of the forensics teams to look at that firearm, it's at an FBI lab right now, to work with the palm prints, fingerprints, and footprints they've obtained should help them move this along. But they also have just a tonnage of video.
President Trump paid tribute to Kirk today during a 9/11 ceremony at the Pentagon. Kirk's casket will be flown from Utah to his hometown in Arizona aboard Air Force Two. Vice President J.D. Vance has flown to Salt Lake City. A number of public officials have expressed concern about security following the killing. Linda Kenyon has more.
Republican Representative James Comer was asked about whether he has concerns about security.
I mean, you always think about it.
Standing outside the U.S. Capitol building, the chairman of the House Oversight Committee added,
outdoor events probably are going to be a lot fewer in numbers for members of Congress.
Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has canceled a rally for tonight due to security concerns, while Republican Representative Nancy Mace said she's going to double down on her beliefs and start carrying a firearm. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Harvard University says it started receiving notices that many federal grants halted by the Trump administration will be reinstated. A judge ruled the cuts illegal. This freshman at Harvard.
With the funding that's coming back, I think it's going to a great place. These students are so dedicated to their work. These students are so motivated. And I think this is just going to help, our entire world get better.
The money hasn't started flowing again yet, and it isn't clear if that will happen before the government appeals. On Wall Street, the record-setting run continues. The S&P 500 is up to another record. The Dow is higher by 636. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We're live at the scene of a SWAT standoff in Pierce County, but first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. A crash is blocking a lane on southbound State Route 99 south of Des Moines Drive South. Overall travel times are dropping. Everett to Seattle, 27 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 38. Renton to Bellevue, 27. The 520 bridge slows over Montlake, but I-90 is clear. Traffic brought to you by D.R. Horton. With over 20 Puget Sound communities, D.R. Horton is the right home for you. Learn more at drhorton.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A SWAT standoff with a shooting suspect just ended in the South Hill area near Puyallup. Live to KIRO News Radio's James Lynch at the scene. James?
Heather, this all started this morning just after 7 on 129th Avenue Court East, where deputies received a 911 call for a person shot on the street. Deputies found a 48-year-old man with a single gunshot wound. He was transported, and deputies then tracked the suspected shooter to what's known as a trouble house in this neighborhood, where the man barricaded himself inside the home with about 8 other adults. Pierce County Deputy Carly Capetto tells us what happened next.
He was non-compliant for at least 2 hours. He finally did come out of the house, and that was after we've had SWAT arrive on scene, we've had K-9 arrive and negotiators.
Investigators don't know exactly what led to the shooting or the relationship between the two men. They say that will all be part of the investigation. Live in South Hill, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, James. A man is hospitalized in critical condition this morning after a stabbing in Seattle's Denny Triangle yesterday evening. The victim says he was stabbed on a bus. Police say they followed a trail of blood to an apartment building nearby where they arrested the suspect. About 200 people turned out for a vigil in Seattle's Westlake Park to remember conservative activist Charlie Kirk. This man telling KIRO 7 TV he admired Kirk's efforts to engage people who had opposing views.
And he would encourage the people who disagreed with him to step forward and have that dialogue, because all the worst events in America have happened when we stop talking to each other.
Kirk was fatally shot during an appearance at a college in Utah yesterday. The killer is still on the loose. Police have released no official motive. Washington students are posting some of their best test scores in math and English in some time.
The rate of progress for the first time in years, so the growth that we see in our students from year to year to year, is finally pre-pandemic.
State School Superintendent Chris Rickdahl says Washington ranks second in English and fourth in math among 12 states using the same testing service. 71% of students met grade level standards in English and 63% in math. The Mariners broke out the brooms late last night and swept their 3-game series with the St. Louis Cardinals. It took 13 innings before the M's Leo Rivas made this happen.
Deep right field down the line. Walk it off, Leo Rivas. A walk-off 2-run home run.
The M's win it 4-2. The Mariners take on L.A. tonight at T-Mobile Park. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing sunshine today with highs in the low 70s. It's 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday, September 11th. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Coming up at 11:30, we are going to agree to disagree. Just want to remind you that you are all a very important part of our show. I'm actually collecting some of the text messages and the feedback that you've been sharing on YouTube and on our text line, which is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Also a reminder, if you missed our commentary on this horrific murder of Charlie Kirk and what G and I had to say at the beginning of the show, I would strongly encourage you to listen to our podcast. And thank you to those of you who have downloaded our KIRO Radio app. Just a reminder that maybe you don't know this, but if you cannot get close to a radio station or you're not in your car, but you want to listen to the show even when you're on vacation, you can do that for free on our KIRO Radio app. Mm-hmm. And with all of that, let's get to
Top Stories at 11
on the Gee and Ursula Show.
And you know that Seattle loves to pat itself on the back as a progressive city, but when it comes to racial income inequality, we are actually in the top 10 worst in the country. And this comes from Gene Balk, the FYI guy at the Seattle Times, who's reporting on new Census Bureau numbers. I so appreciate him for him breaking all of this down. And he points out that the gap is eye-popping. Asian-headed households here brought in a median of about $141,000 last year. Black households, $63,000. We're talking of a difference of nearly $78,000. Or put another way, Asian households are earning more than double their black neighbors. When it comes to white households, they had the second highest median income in Seattle last year at about, let's say, $127,000. Multiracial households followed at about $110,000. Hispanic households trailed with a median income near $89,000. And we also need to point out, G, that in his breakdown of the numbers, household incomes have changed dramatically. So back in 2010, white households were Seattle's top earners. That was $66,600. By 2024, that number had nearly doubled, close to $127,000. That went up 90%. And again, Asian households saw the biggest leap. In 2010, their median income was around $50,000. But starting in 2015, those incomes shot up. And by 2019, they had caught up. And today they're at roughly $141,000, which is almost triple what they were 15 years ago. What do you make of these numbers?
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of things. There's two things I'm going to point out. One, when we are talking about who's making the money in the income here locally, you can point directly to, let's see, 2010, 2025, that's 15 years. Oh, Amazon's right here. Oh, boom, there's tech. Who are the money makers in tech? When you look that up, the demographics, you'll see. The second thing that I want to point at is, and I want to point to real estate being the reason. Real estate is the number one reason that contributes to the continuation of the wealth gap that we have. Disparities in home ownership, home values continue to widen, particularly when it comes to racial and generational lines. Historically, discrimination, redlining here, right, has created this huge difference. When you have generations of people that were told you can't buy real estate outside of this red-lined area, literally red-line. You could only buy here. And then you did buy there, and then they had this thing called gentrification, right? So you had that, and so, hey, the property taxes go up, and you get displaced and kicked out of there. When you have people that have access, and by the way, real estate is the fastest way that you can gain wealth. When you have people that have access to real estate, sons, daughters, grandkids, they can now go to college because they have money to pull from to help them out. And so when they get out, there's no debt.
Yeah.
They get to go. So two things, tech and real estate are the reasons.
Now, there was a third thing that you brought up, and you were talking about what you see even in your own neighborhood. And it is something that I actually see as well, because it is something that I admire greatly about, I'm just going to say, speaking specifically about the Asian culture. And I'm talking about people who are not in tech. Whether it's the number of people that I encounter who have much lower income jobs, but they will put home ownership as such a high priority that they will do everything, whether it's their business. Like I'm just going to speak, and I'm not trying to stereotype here, but I'm going to speak specifically of an instance where I go get my nails done, where I've gotten my nails done for years and years, how I admire the woman, the Vietnamese American woman who owns that business, who lives, this like multi-generational, who, her mom lives there, her sister lives there in their house, but I know that she was so proud when she was able to buy a house cash.
Yeah.
And I know that you've seen that as well. I mean, that is something where, I mean, with sacrifices and with things that are much more familiar in their culture, I think that people who aren't even in high tech. I mean, I think your answers were absolutely correct.
You know what, Ursula? Thank you for bringing that back. I had decided in my head that I wasn't going to bring that up. And the reason why I wasn't going to bring it up, because I think that what that does is it leads into another discussion. I'll talk about black culture for a second and what I have seen consistently in my families, in my neighborhoods, and all that. One of the things that happens is we say, I know growing up for me, a lot of my cousins, family, friends, I can't wait till I turn 18. When I turn 18, I can't wait to leave this house. So culturally, we want to get out of the house. Matter of fact, sometimes you got parents that says, I can't wait till you turn 18 so you can get out.
I can boot you
so
out.
You got a lot of people that's doing that. That's one. Two, one of the things that I see that is beautiful, right? Shout out to Chef. I think it is a beautiful thing when we live with our parents as long as we can, especially having parents that are aging, A-G-I-N-G, when you have them getting older and you have the ability to have your family all together. That's what I see in different cultures. Shout out to the Asian community.
Yeah, it's not widely accepted.
It's not right. Right? Like sometimes, right now, ooh, what, bro? You live with your parents? If someone lives with their parents, think about this for a second. Financially, they might be in a very good place because they're pooled, their money together, the bills, and not just that, the family and support and the structure is there. So a lot of the reasons why sometimes, now I put out the obvious, real estate and tech.
Yes.
One of the things that some cultures don't do a good job of is working together like others.
Mm-hmm. Especially when the stakes are so high and the barriers are there too.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, there are a lot of barriers to entry for sure. Well, let's talk about something else that is going on.
A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. The Washington Attorney General, Nick Brown, is warning that we could be heading into an era of race-based policing. And this comes after a Supreme Court decision this week. The court ruling 6-3 that federal immigration enforcement in L.A. can consider race and ethnicity as part of deciding who to stop, who to question, and even detain. And Nick Brown is calling this a shameful decision. He says it represents a rollback of decades of civil rights progress. And he warns that it's not just going to affect Los Angeles. Because remember, it was a judge, an earlier court, that put a stop to what was going on, right? But Nick Brown is warning that it's not going to just affect Los Angeles. He says it's likely going to change how immigration enforcement operates across the country, and he's raising alarms that it could even open the door for local and state law enforcement to factor race into policing decisions. And so now Seattle's Mayor Bruce Harrell says this ruling will cause a lot of anxiousness and angst in the city, and he worries that it's going to give ICE officials legal cover for racial profiling and inhumane treatment. What do you think?
I think that I want to ask Chef a question.
Yeah.
Chef, when you walk around, do you have proof of citizenship?
No.
Have you ever thought that every single time that you leave the house that you must have proof of citizenship?
Nope.
Ursula, you ever thought about that before? Having to leave the house before you became a citizen, of course.
Yes.
Just think, leaving the house, having proof of citizenship?
No.
Because I just want to tell you, I have never thought about that. Me, myself, right?
No.
I've never thought, okay, I need to get my passport or my birth certificate, my social security. I never thought about those things. There will be brown people that every single time they leave the house, that they will have to have proof of citizenship, because now you can get the old school stop and frisk. You guys remember that? And they have a legal reason to stop and detain you. And if you don't have that stuff on you, they can take you through measures. So if you're getting ready to go with your family, you're heading to the airport, and you make a mistake on speeding, or you go through a stoplight or stop sign, and you don't have all of the papers to prove that you're a citizen, Boom. That's where we're at right now.
And that is worrisome. So something that Nick Brown pointed out, too, again, state AG, he was saying that this is the same court that just 3 years ago struck down affirmative action in college admissions, basically saying that race could not be considered in any way. It's something that is being fought by this current administration. Yeah. Yet now the same majority on the Supreme Court has ruled that race can be considered as a factor if in law enforcement detaining somebody. So make that one make sense.
They also tossed out much of the Voting Rights Act when it came to enforcement because they said that race was no longer relevant.
I thought we didn't see color. What happened with that? You remember for so many years?
My head is still spinning. Like, what? Yeah, for so many years it was we don't see color. Then it was like you should see color. Yeah. Don't try to minimize that we all have different experiences. I didn't get enough sleep to go into that kind of depth right now. Okay, what about student test scores? You want to talk about that? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, because recently, actually, you weren't here, but Angela was filling in for you, and we talked about the nation's report card, and it was not good.
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
With all due respect, before you get into it, I just want to just tell you this because it's on my heart.
Okay.
You and Angela talking about education and report cards is something I bet you guys went extremely deep on.
Sure did.
I knew.
Angela and I share a lot in common on that topic. And no, we don't think college is a scam. But yes, we do think it's too expensive. Okay, but when it comes to student scores, we agree. I mean, I think we came to the agreement that there's a whole multitude of reasons why test scores on a national basis are going down. And it's not just the easy, low-hanging fruit, but it's a whole bunch of reasons. But it's troublesome. Okay. It is a big, fat worry. So there are some new numbers for our state that actually look good.
Okay, what they say?
So Washington students are posting some of their best test scores in math and English in quite some time.
The rate of progress for the first time in years, so the growth that we see in our students from year to year to year is finally pre-pandemic.
Okay. So we've gained some ground that was lost during the pandemic. That is Superintendent Chris Rakedahl, who says Washington scores are looking strong with students ranking second in English and fourth in math among the 11 states that use the same tests.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what tests those are because I know that there was some controversy over which tests are being used for these scores. But anyway, Rakedahl released the spring 2025 scores this week, showing that 71% of students demonstrated at least foundational skills in English and 63% in math. About half met grade level standards, which is roughly unchanged from last year. And he does admit, though, that some kids are still falling behind.
Very large gaps that still persist, particularly among students who are low income versus those who do not experience poverty.
So the other thing he's pushing back against is the talking point that half our kids can't read or do math. He says that is a flat-out lie. And he wants to push back against what he calls the weaponization of test scores, saying that there is a movement to privatize the public sector and using test scores as a tactic by misrepresenting them, he says, as a reason like, hey, we're spending all this money and we still have crappy test scores, and why don't you let me take that money, all that money, since we're spending so much money, take it to private schools?
What you think about this, Ursula? All the people want to hear what Ursula has to say on this.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do.
Because we talked about it. I want public schools to improve. I think we are only as good as the public schools in our community. I also understand why there are parents who will say they still support public schools, but they will put their kids in private school. And I put myself in that category. And I think that to some degree, even though I always, up until very recently, always vote in favor of school levies, because I think, again, it's an investment in our future collectively. But I will go back to what I've been saying a lot lately, which is we need more accountability with the money that is being given to show that we are spending it wisely on our schools, et cetera, services. And, but no, I'm not in favor of, I mean, if you basically, it's going to make the gap between the haves and have-nots even bigger if you start pouring all the money into private schools.
Yeah.
That's my fear.
Yeah. You want to know what's my fear?
What's that?
That there is a section of people that do everything they can to demonize teachers.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
again, that's
is
really easy.
It's really,
Yeah.
No. The thing is, Ursula, I don't understand how it's easy. I don't understand how it is easy to demonize teachers when we know, if you rack them and stack them, we know what teachers have done in our lives. We know the work. As a matter of fact, if I ask, and I've asked this question before, I'll ask it again. Who was your favorite teacher? Whoever that teacher was, and whoever it is, that teacher isn't or wasn't your favorite just because academically they taught you something. Mm-hmm. That teacher spoke life into you. Mm-hmm. That teacher listened to you when nobody else did. Mm-hmm. You know, the thing
also
is,
be a coach, but I think you're right. Teachers just don't get enough credit.
We quick to judge teachers on a test score, but we don't want to give teachers love for saving lives. Mm. We don't want to give teachers love for pointing out when a child is hungry. We don't want to give teachers love. I could do this all day.
Well, Mitch in the 918 says, if y'all knew all the work we're putting in with our students to improve reading and writing outcomes, lots of funding for staff and resources. I'm honestly impressed by how much my own campus is sinking into reading interventions. We should be proud of that for sure. Mitch is a high school English teacher.
Ursula 206 says, who's demonizing teachers? Oh, wait. Am I wrong? Nobody ever demonized teachers here?
I think there's some people who do it.
Oh, more than some, Ursula. You know that. More than some. Not us. I ain't demonizing no teacher. Matter of fact, if you weren't doing this, I could see you being a teacher.
That was the profession I wanted to go into.
But not anymore, because today you be saying, forget them kids. Hey,
Nope, never said those words.
Hey, coming up next, 11:47, it is Words to Live By. And 11:30, like we do every day, even though we've been doing it all day today, so we're going to do it again. Agree to disagree. Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes. Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
After 35 years in the window industry, I know choosing the right team for your window or door project is a big decision. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Treating your home with care while offering top quality products is important to me. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards, reduce noise by up to 50%, and feature low maintenance, clean glass technology. Combined with our leading leak armor installation and lifetime warranty, you get protection for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, inviting you to come work with IRG. And Shannon, what kind of staff are you looking for at IRG?
Brock, we're looking for all kinds of clinical staff, physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers, certified occupational therapy technicians, physical therapy assistants, you name it on the clinical side. We are looking for those folks. But we are really looking for folks that want to come to an organization that want to be part of our culture and change the culture and work with us to provide the best care and service we can to our patients, our team, and our community. So those clinical people out there, we're looking for you. We also provide advanced certification. We want to provide you mentorship. We want you to grow personally and professionally here at IRG.
And with over 40 clinics throughout the Pacific Northwest, you've got the opportunity to work in the city you want. Just head over to irgpt.com/careers. That's irgpt.com/careers.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Planning a road trip? Plan a visit to your neighborhood Bucky's Complete Auto Repair for oil changes, brakes, AC repair, and factory maintenance. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99, and we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale, now at AutoZone until September 22nd. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey there, Dawn Reiling from Olympic Hot Tub. It's fair season, but the absolute best savings on a hot tub aren't at the fair. They're at Olympic. Purchase a saltwater hot spring spa and get a deal that's truly untoppable. A Lux Smart Top hardcover included for free. Wow! Up to $4,500 off the best tub you can own. And it's only at Olympic till September 14th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling soon. Free Good To Go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
He was a hero to me. He was a hero in our movement. And he ended up paying with his life.
The pastor of Seattle's Pursued Northwest Church talking with KIRO 7 TV at a vigil last night to remember conservative celebrity Charlie Kirk, who was fatally shot while speaking at a college in Utah. It's widely assumed Kirk was killed for his political activism, but no one is in custody yet to reveal a motive. But there is progress in the hunt for the shooter. FBI Special Agent Robert Bowles.
This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's
shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle.
It was found in a wooded area where the shooter fled. The FBI has released photos of the suspected shooter. We are posting those at mynorthwest.com. Investigators believe he took aim at Kirk from the rooftop of a nearby building. More from CBS's Scott McFarland.
Just minutes into Charlie Kirk's event on campus at Utah Valley University, after he tossed hats to the crowd, he began taking questions from the audience. Someone then fired a gun, and the shot struck Kirk in the neck.
2 hours later, President Trump posted on social media that Kirk had died. Ceremonies today marking 24 years since the 9/11 terror attacks.
Specialist Craig S. Amundsen, United States Army.
Terrorists hijacked commercial airplanes, crashing them into the World Trade Center Twin Towers and the Pentagon. Passengers rushed the cockpit of a fourth plane, which crashed into a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Seattle firefighters are at the Space Needle today, paying tribute to the first responders who died that day. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports.
The Never Forget firefighters from Bothell and the 23rd Brigade Engineer Battalion from JBLM will climb the Space Needle stairs twice. That's as a tribute to what the first responders went through while trying to rescue people in the towers.
There are 9/11 remembrances all across the Puget Sound region today. We've compiled a list for you at mynorthwest.com. Seattle lawmakers gave it one last shot to save the Lake City Fred Meyer, but Fred Meyer's president sent a letter to State Representative Jerry Paulette this week. They say the closure's still on. The company is also shuttering stores in Redmond, Kent, and Everett, blaming increased crime and regulations. On Wall Street, the Dow was up 589 points. NASDAQ ahead 151. KIRO News Radio traffic. 2 lanes will be closed on eastbound I-90 near the State Route interchange tonight for road work. That'll start at 9 p.m. Right now, you've got a crash blocking a lane on southbound State Route 99 south of Des Moines Drive South, causing some slowing there. Travel time still dropping overall. Everett to Seattle, 39 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 30. Renton to Bellevue, 17. And your lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by Washington 811. If you're digging in your yard, you are legally required to call 811 to avoid damaging utility lines. Call or go to digsavewatt.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing sunshine today with highs in the low 70s. It's 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Block.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. It is 11:34 on this Thursday morning, and it's time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters. And hello. Chef is busy.
I'm busy on the YouTubes, and I'm being a little bit... anyways, let's just jump on in. So over at T-Mobile Park, the Seattle Mariners have a little QR code up there. There is apparently a very disruptive man who has a very, very large megaphone. And he's one of these street preachers that is a little bit distracting, a little bit loud. Folks have been complaining for months about this. And they're submitting the comments of fans through QR code to the Seattle City Council to see if the Seattle City Council should take action against somebody with a very loud megaphone. Bro. Ursula, do you think that is worthy of Seattle City Council attention?
In the grand scheme of things right now, I mean, is it annoying? Yes. Is it free speech? Yes. Is it the top priority right now? No. We have so many other bigger fish to fry that I would say that that's not the... I was just at the Mariners game.
Yeah. Do you see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's part of the...
Nah.
It's part of the noise that happens. No?
No. I on a scale of 1 to 10,
Yeah.
I'm not even exaggerating. It's a 20 for me.
Oh, wow.
No. Get rid of these people. They absolutely ruin your experience. You're there with your son, your daughter, your aunt, your family. You're just, and everything's cool. Everybody's in line. They're excited to get ready to watch the game.
Yeah.
And then you got Peter standing right there saying the dumbest stuff. And you know what I want to tell him? Bro, this isn't very Christian of you. Like the stuff you're saying, you want to be hell-bent and you want to be pointing and preaching. I'm telling you, it bothers me. As a matter of fact, I was there the other day.
So you think it is one of our top priorities in the city?
Yes. I want him to be swept away. I want them to go away. They ruin their experience. Bruh, don't nobody want to hear that. Go away. It is.
Man,
I
guess I've just blocked that out. There's so much. There is so much noise going on and so much, I don't want to say chaos, but just hustle and bustle getting there. It's like, just tune them out. That said, I mean, would others be afforded the same kind of thing if I wanted to be, making a ruckus out there and yelling and screaming at people? Would I be allowed to do that?
Exactly. Boom. You wouldn't be. But because he's screaming about the Lord and Savior, because he's doing that, I feel like he gets the right to stand there. And you're right. If I was standing there or you were standing there, wouldn't
we be told to move along?
Absolutely. If I was randomly just looking at people like, hey, bro, what you wearing? Why did you wear that? Oh, hey, your wife looks like this. If I was saying nasty things to people, I would be kicked away. But if I have a megaphone and I'm talking about that, then it's free speech. I'm sorry.
And maybe I just don't go to the games enough because you go much more often. 360 just texted and said, Megaphone guy screamed in my kid's face that they're going to hell. They're under 10 years old. This is above and beyond just free speech.
See, this is a tough question.
No, it ain't tough to me.
Because I know the city could nail him for noise ordinance. People have documented the fact that he's over the noise ordinance. I think you can stand on a street corner and yell at people, you're an idiot. And that's free speech. I mean, you might get punched in the face for it, but it's still free speech. Like, the stuff he says is borderline hate speech. I think that's where it gets really twisty, because if it's like, trans people are the devil, trans people are going to hell, like gay people, whatever, that kind of thing, where does it cross the line into actual hate speech and a threat of harm? But at the very least, they have Seattle police officers standing right there all the time, watching this happen. And why can't one of them just mosey on over and be like, sir, the megaphone's too loud?
Again, I just wonder, like, in the grand scheme of things, is that one of the bigger problems?
Something that affects tens of thousands of people every home game.
Ursula, it really is a big problem for me. Like, and you guys, there's a lot of things I'm like, that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
That is a big deal. Because you just said it. You said it a second ago. You said, would you or I be able to stand there and as people coming by, hey, look, those jeans you're wearing, they're pretty dirty. They're pretty nasty. And if I just said nasty things towards people, is that free speech?
Well, it's free speech. But should it be? Yeah, but
I'd have to be whisked away for trespassing.
Exactly. So you get him on something else. Okay, well, here's my other question, though. Remember that guy who, I loved his drumming. And whenever, I want to say his name was Christopher.
He came on our show.
Yes. And remember
I love that dude.
That he was on the corner and he was playing Earth, Wind, and Fire and was doing the drum thing. And then he was told, too noisy. And we were like, dude, I would love that guy to be there on the street corner instead of, having someone yell at me that kids are going to hell and that kind of thing. But he was not allowed. The city did take action and told him, you can't stay here.
Yes.
Because businesses complained. Maybe more businesses need to complain so that.
Well, this has been literally thousands of people have been complaining about this for a long time. And this season,
they're finally doing something.
I mean, and by the way, when you go right there, you guys know where it is. It's right there. The one dude stands right there by the Ken Griffey Jr. statue. I mean, I'm sorry. For me, it just stands out to me. It's like nails on a chalkboard. And one more thing. It's not like what he's saying is in a loving tone.
No.
It's you, brimstone fire, right? He's not saying, hey,
I think you're
everyone,
convincing me.
you guys look great today. Thank you so much for being here. You know what?
I want to share the love of the Lord with you. I want to share the positive message of Christ. It's like hell and damnation.
You talk about what would Jesus do? Jesus wouldn't do that.
Yeah, 360 texted in and said, freedom of religion or freedom of speech should also be freedom from religion. We should be free to not hear these jerks on the corner spewing this hate. Okay, text us, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. I wasn't thinking it was a priority, but maybe you're convincing me otherwise. I just don't go to enough games.
Again, for the people that are saying free speech, okay, which free speech gets tucked away? You and I, Ursula, would not be able to sit there and talk bad about people.
Should free speech be also free of consequence? I guess that would be the question if I ask anybody.
If it was a Muslim preacher and he was telling people, all the people eating hot dogs, that they would burn in hell forever.
Okay, keep texting. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. We hear ya, and words to live by coming up next.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
The kids are back to school, and it's rally time. I encourage everyone to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Here's the truth. Kids need more fruits and veggies to grow strong, stay focused, and live healthy lives. But for families on them tight budgets, those essentials can be out of reach. That's where we can come in. Together, the Washington State Department of Health and Safeway need you to help make a difference, making fresh fruits and vegetables accessible to families and kids. Safeway is deeply committed to nourishing our communities. Every dollar donated is another dollar eligible families can use on fresh produce. And with SNAP Produce Match, they can buy twice as much with each dollar. Let's work together to make sure every kid has access to the nutrition they deserve. Next time you're at your neighborhood Safeway, please say yes at checkout to donate to Keep Kids Healthy campaign. Together, we can one bite at a time. Learn more at Safeway.com, SNAP, or your Safeway for You app.
Good whiskey requires time. Time to age, time to enjoy, and in a busy world, that might mean just slowing down a little bit. The Heritage Distilling Company Tasting Room and Angel of the Winds Casino Resort, that's a place to slow down and relax. Enjoy their finest selection of whiskeys and their exclusive seasonal tasting menus. Come to Angel of the Winds Casino Resort and schedule a little slowdown.
Cal has hit more home runs than any catcher in the history of the game of baseball.
The Mariners are in the hunt for October, and now's the time to pack the park and bring the energy.
The look in by Brash, the payout pitch on the way, and it's strike three called. He got him looking.
We're electric. I feel like the fans can feel that, and we're just going to keep this going.
An absolute tracer from Julio. He has homered in back-to-back at-bats.
Keep bringing the energy. We really need it. Let's go.
Out to right field. Way back there. J.P. Crawford. Game winner, walk-off fashion in the ninth inning.
This team has a lot of fight. You guys have been electric. You guys are the key to this, so thank you guys.
The postseason is in our sights. Be here and be loud. Mariners baseball. Seize the moment.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
I'm Captain John Kelly with the Salvation Army. The Seattle Addiction Recovery Program helps men break free from addiction at no cost to them through physical, emotional, and spiritual growth. That's why our success rate is nearly 4 times the national average. While participants pay nothing, it costs the Salvation Army about $10,000 to help one person graduate into recovery. Want to help? Join us for the Red Shield Classic Golf Tournament, September 11th at Echo Falls. Register or donate at tsaredshieldclassic.org. Together, we can change lives.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
The absolute best savings on a hot tub aren't at the fair. They're at Olympic Hot Tub. Get a truly untoppable deal. Purchase a saltwater hot spring spa and get a Lux Smart Top hardcover free. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
At Kia of Everett, we make leasing your new Kia simple, easy, and fun. Now through September 30th, lease a 2026 Kia EV9 Lite Long Range for just $249 a month for 24 months with $49.99 due at signing.
Lease payment on approved credit with Kia Finance America plus tax after $13,500 Kia Finance America 24-month lease cash and Kia of Everett discount of $3,322. Quoted payment is before monthly sales tax and fees. Select vehicles only subject to prior sale. See dealer for full details.
The best drive you'll ever take is to Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
It's Gee and Ursula, everybody. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Now it's time for the good old text messages, feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's words to live by. Ursula, get us out through all the text messages. What you got?
Oh, really?
Well, I think yours are better. Go ahead.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, on the murder of Charlie Kirk, Kay in Spanaway says, R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. I wasn't a big fan of his, but as a husband and father of small girls, I get misty-eyed when I think of his poor family who've lost a father and a husband. And to see all the people who are downplaying or even celebrating it is sickening. Jason in Quilcene says, I thought you two did an excellent job restraining yourselves this morning, but I feel there was much more to be said. I'm really tired of this narrative that this isn't who we are. Yes, it is. This is exactly who we are. From taking this land by force, killing natives, to slavery, lynchings, death row, this is who we are. We will never figure out this gun problem until we reconcile our brutal past and understand that in order to become a nation that isn't who we are, we need to move forward with unity.
Who said that?
Jason in Quilcene.
Me, I gotta look him up. Jason was on fire.
Okay, I asked the question, can we ever be united again as a country? I'm hopeful, always hopeful. Gee, you're not necessarily hopeful. And 206 said, as social media has gained acceptance, that is when it divided us. It gave a microphone for those who want to create chaos. And I also blame news channels running the same stories 24/7. And then Kara, the cleaning lady, says, I don't think we're as divided as we think we are. The extremes are always highlighted from one extreme to the next, and social media is the culprit. And then I love this text message, and I can't remember who sent it, but it's far greater to understand than to be understood. Okay, you and I had quite the debate. If anyone wants to listen, that was probably the most tense part of the show today. You and I really kind of went at it when we were talking about gas taxes. Washington pays second most for gas, only behind California. 206 says gas tax contributes to housing affordability. The cost of gas impacts the cost of goods, reduces the amount of money people have for housing. All of the taxes on property make housing unaffordable. When have Democrats ever lowered the cost of government? Yes, having a one-party state is a problem. We're taxed too much. Billions gone to waste, fraud, and abuse at the state, county, and city levels. Clean it up, reduce taxes, focus on core services and accountability, and the cost of living and housing costs go down. Do you have any that you want to read? Okay, we talked about the census numbers showing that Asian American families have increased their wealth dramatically in recent years. Amy in Redmond said, we lived in Sammamish, and I'm white, and I thought we were very pro-education and success. I made sure my son did his homework, got him help when he needed it, but nothing we did compared to our Asian American neighbors. They pushed, they encouraged their children so much more. My sister doesn't make very much, so her daughter went to a $70,000 college for $17,000. I think a lot of it is cultural expectations. My parents were the first in their families to go to college.
I think whoever sent that text message,
Amy,
I don't disagree with you. There are, like, for real, in some households, I'm not going to go culturally, but I'm just going to say there's some households that can be on the same block where there are higher expectations, where sometimes they're so ridiculous, sometimes it might backfire, right? Where the kids just tune out like, I can't take it, it's too much pressure. But it happens. So I agree with Amy on some of that.
Okay, when your adult kids start ghosting you. Okay, 253, because you had some strong opinions on that one too.
Well, people got mad at me.
Yeah.
First of all, I just want to just say, I'm going to go ahead and say the quiet part out loud. Most of people being upset today was at G. And there's a reason why, but I'm going to leave that alone. But I just want to say, even upset about this topic. But go ahead, what you got?
It says, I agree with G. If you reach out and your kids ghost you, yeah, I agree. However, it is the parents' responsibility to reach out to their kid, not the other way around. Your role is to support your child and maintain that contact, not the other way around. You owe your child. You brought them into the world. Do you agree?
I mean,
to make the first step.
Here's the thing. I don't disagree with someone that has that approach.
Yes.
I also don't disagree with someone who doesn't have that approach.
I hear you.
I'm going to be Ursula in this situation. Both things can be true.
This is true.
All right, Ursula, it's time for Words to Live By. What do you got for us?
This is a quote from Nelson Mandela. No matter what happens in life, choose kindness over anger, love over hate, and forgiveness over resentment. We all need to take a collective deep breath. It's going to be... We just need a deep breath.
Good stuff. Nick, what do you got, bro?
Well, after getting through the heavy-hitting news today, it was hard finding a silver lining for easing pain away. Though if here, luckily we're in the middle of a streak while the M's rack up 5 straight, going for 6 on tap this week.
Tell me something good.
So take care of yourselves and do what makes you feel all right, even if it means to call your son at college late at night. I know he's fresh out of the nest, but don't get anxious and let him do the calling for the first couple of weeks. Give him some space, all right?
I like that.
Hey, Nick,
do you know that I left the game early yesterday?
Oh, did you? It was a long one, though. I mean, I get it.
Hey, Nick, in the dating world,
yeah,
is it or should you keep calling?
If they don't persist? No.
Yes.
No. You got to get the message. After one message and they don't reply, there's a hint. 2,
yeah.
That's the threshold.
For some reason, they tend to call you when things are going well and good in your life. That's when they start calling you. Come on now. All right, good stuff, Ursula. We'll do this again tomorrow. Thank you, Chef. Appreciate you. Nick, good stuff today. The Jake and Spike Show, they're coming in next. We appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as Ursula said in her words to live by, be kind.
Hope you have as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
If you've been considering upgrading your siding, now is the perfect time. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. In the Pacific Northwest, moisture is the enemy. Old failing siding leads to hidden water damage, rot, and mold. State Roofing and Exteriors is a James Hardy preferred contractor with over 55 years of siding expertise. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your siding inspection today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Here's a question. Why are more and more discerning Seattleites choosing Horizon House's new West Tower? They're getting the best views, floor plans, and pre-construction pricing. They're doing it now, and here's why. Because half the residences are already reserved, and they know these advantages won't last. Learn more now at westtowerinfo.org. That's westtowerinfo.org. westtowerinfo.org.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time, like car wash. Right now, you can save 20% on the Armor All Complete Car Wash Kit. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If you're thinking about renovating an attic, spending more time in your sunroom, or building onto your home, a Carrier ductless unit is the perfect solution for climate control. It's efficient, quiet, and incredibly flexible when it comes to installation because there's no ductwork required. It's just one more way we're making your home totally comfortable.
Your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer will improve your home's comfort, air quality, and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find the expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
The insurance world, it can be confusing, so have First Mark Insurance guide you through it by taking the free First Mark Challenge. They'll explore offerings from top carriers for better coverage and lower rates. They save the Heward family thousands. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Switching bath soap from sandalwood to tropical essence? That's glamping in the rainforest. Sometimes a different way is the better way, like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Tolling September 29th. Free Good to Go sticker pass at goodtogo509.com.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left? I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped. Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
KIRO FM.